Hey all, welcome to Real Little Britain and Blackie's Brewery. Folks, tonight I've got something very, very special. Now, do you know what? Lee Emmons, he's an absolute gentleman and a scholar. He sent me a couple of beers in the post, and then he put, which was part of a prize I won at the Southeast London, the London and Southeast competition. And then he popped in another bottle of beer, which was something which Rich Luck brewed, and Lee and some friends put money in together to fill a Bourbon Barrel, yeah, and it comes from Rich's brewery, which is the Retribution brewery, yeah, but it's the Retribution Barrel Aging Project. It's an Imperial brown stout in Bourbon barrels. This beer is right up my street because the first thing I think of in my head is Founders KSB or KBS, yeah, one of my favourite beers of all time. Now, look at that, folks. Absolutely stunning. Now, this isn't just about one homebrewer. Even the one homebrewer has done all the hard work and other people have input it. The input means that they get beer back. Yeah? So Rich has to embrace and has to think about what he's doing to make sure that people who've invested in that Bourbon Barrel, yeah, get a high standard and quality beer. I am so privileged to have one of these beers. And Lee, thank you very much for sharing one of the bottles that you've got as part of your batch. And I honestly mean that, because beers like this are beers to be treasured. And, you know, what else can I say? So my thing is thank you very much. And we're going to crack this bad boy open and we're going to see exactly what it's like. So the beer itself is opened with light carbonation. Let's go straight in with the pour. So the beer, as you would expect, is pouring with a lovely mahogany brown colour. Okay, it's pouring with medium carbonation and it's forming this wonderful. And I'm going straight in with the whole thing, folks. This is a bottle conditioned beer. It's a one finger head, tightly packed bubbles. But that beer itself is a very, very dark mahogany brown colour, and there's patches of black to it as well. So it is, it reminds me of an Imperial brown beer. So let's go straight in with the nose. Whoa. The first thing I get in the nose, folks, is chocolate nibs. That's it. That is so, oh my good God. It actually reminds me of my triple chocolate black pepper stout. You get cocoa nibs. Then what you get is this light woodiness. You also get vanilla. You get dry wheat crackers. You also get this quite deep oak woodiness. And just in the back end of that woodiness, you're also picking up a little bit of lemon. Smells absolutely divine, but this beer for me so far is all about the chocolate, and it's cocoa nibs and possibly pale chocolate malt. Folks, let's go. Cheers. And cheers, Rick. Absolute pleasure. But most importantly, Lee, thanks for sharing. Oh my good God. Oh my good God. Lee was saying to me that this beer has been possibly aged for about 6 months in this barrel, yeah? Okay, let's talk about the malt. What you get is get big deep roasted malts. You also get this light wheat, which is kind of coating the inside of the palate with this light oily residue. You're also picking up lovely light oak notes, which is giving that silkiness to the beer. Then comes this big, it's like a big kick of oak, which intercepts all that different malt. You get a little bit of vanilla, which is very, very smooth. And then comes this, and actually it's amazing. It's very much like Magnum hops, which leaves that quite unique bitterness. But on top of that Magnum hops, you're also getting this bitterness from the actual aging process of the wood. Because what I found is that oak barrels or bourbon barrels, which are usually made from oak wood, they also leave this kind of woody residue, which is quite bitter in its own right. What is really nice is that with that you're getting the sweetness of the bourbon, again, which is a deep, heavily malted whiskey type alcohol, but at the same time you also get that sweetness of vanilla, which is also starting to intercept with that creaminess of the oats and that kind of deep and sharpness of the oak. You're getting a little bit of black treacle. It'll be interesting to see what other malts have been used, because for me there's a little bit of like black malt. Now black malt for me, it just adds that little bit of, it adds colour, but it adds a little bit of harshness to the bitterness too. I'm going to be completely honest, folks. This is undoubtedly the best homebrewed beer I have ever tried. And the next thing is how close is this to Founders KBS, their Bourbon Stout? It's very close. The only difference is that the bourbon in that KBS is much more pronounced, but I prefer this version because this version is more chocolatey. This version is more smoother. 10%. Do you get the 10%? You don't. It drinks like a 7% beer. You get that lovely warm and alcoholness. You get a full bodied beer. But the difference between this and the KBS is that you've got this massive, deep chocolate note. Folks, this is a beer to treasure. This is a beer which is going to, first of all, it's going to age well, because any beer, and I'm guessing there's cocoa nibs in this, yeah. This is something which will, you don't want to age it too long, because I find if you age beers like this too long, what happens is that the bourbon flavours start to go off. The vanilla starts to go a bit musty. This now is probably a prime time to drink it. Like when I get KBSs from the States, I always drink them fresh. Why? Because then that's, you get the deep flavours, because remember they've already been aged in bourbon barrels. So my tip to people would be, any beer you've had out of a bourbon barrel, remember the aging process started months ago. So anything between 6 to 9 to 12 months, when you get the beer, please drink it. This is absolutely fantastic. This is probably, let's start again. This is the best homebrewed beer I have ever tried. This is absolutely stunning. Again, I don't know if it has been in competitions, but for me, this is something that needs to go in. What is lovely is just on the back end, you also get that lovely light treacle note, which kind of intercepts the smoothness of the bourbon, the oak, the vanilla, and again, then that roasted malt too. Absolutely stunning. Folks, what do I give Mr. Rich Locke, the guy all the way from Retribution Brewery, for his barrel-aged project, his Imperial Brown Stout in a bourbon barrel, 10%. Sorry, there you go. For me, this is a 10 out of 10 beer, a 10 out of 10 beer. The only thing I'm going to say is the next time you do this, I want to be involved. Whether that's putting money in towards something or actually helping in the brewing process. This is absolutely stunning. This is what homebrew beer is about, folks. This could go commercial and it could kick the arse out of a lot of different beers. Folks, that's Really the Britain and Blackie's Brewery doing a review on the best homebrewed beer I have ever had. I'm also going to turn around and say that this is the best beer I've had so far from 2016. Absolutely stunning, and something that we as the homebrewing community should be 100% proud of. That's Retribution's breweries, their barrel-aged project, their Imperial Brown Stout in a bourbon barrel, 10%. Rich Locke, you're an absolute legend. I met you at the homebrew competition, briefly. I want to meet you again. We need to have conversations about doing another beer like this. possibly a barrel aged Imperial oat stout. That's really Britain at Blackie's Brewery. Done a review on Retribution's barrel aging projects, their Imperial brown stout in a bourbon barrel, 10%. Folks, cheers. Slamacara.